Pádraig Ó anis tuéis dálaí gúram a ifice mar Uachtaráin na hÉireann. Fórálacha átahacht d'article 2 den bhanreacht a bheith coilíonta gocí aige. Agus dar éir sin, tá mé ag tuairt saoile an Uachtaráin dó go formiúil.
Rugh Pádraig Ó hIrighile an dara lá bealta na 1923, I rí na Spáineach sráid na cathrach conta an chláir. Ba gachtúir a ahir, alta ceantar, a bháthir. Ní nach úna má ránig an tírilech an leis mar garim bheithe.
My father had been a doctor and he was out nearly all the time. My mother had a great respect for him and taught us to respect him and if he was out all night, she made sure we weren't making noise in the morning when he'd be in or whatever time he'd get a bit of sleep. He was extraordinarily dedicated to giving service. He didn't make much money, but he made enough. We did well. We got educated and got good professions. But he never sought money, and he was very, very high in his mind. It was just service. People wanted something, they got it.
We are not any for lehan team on the heart, but ni one heen ek dol shira but we Stair no daskashias kauna vi khalu murmur ahra but we call on the water mar rocktour because dol shira vad ak doctor teilig be heen kom asnat agus vi naski kileshnat go na yegus more than a wolf for a lot of one agus that is aber no seliti in the land you can pulse right marcos na tehaber agus there you know an fergus taxasel me la Patrick Hillery. I'd rather be feel like because we also know something now. So stolm bin rod vi triskin wahage at fobel henige goni. Agus mar vi sé frastiller agus hik sé na 5 of in law.
Cáile has the doctoirach the nídiúg dahad seacht. Díl Hillery fried na cathrach agus chuig am an chleachta míchana. I nídiúg chuige héan, grísig éman devalera agus cosisithe aitúla íana fáil an tíreach óg chun seasamhdóibh san ol Tábhachán.
It was a time when I think the Fianna Fáil organisation was renewing itself. That was the time soon after they got Jack Lynch, which was critical for Fianna Fáil at the time. I think that's clear now. The older men who saw the need for continuity searched out people who would make good candidates and good potential in the Dáil. And I was one of the people they asked to come to. They came to me and asked me to go. But I hadn't at that time had any interest in being a politician.
Stolen got tugustach en keed Laurie of den follotiert. You might have been a holla, you know, near research on topic and you have chef farmakta hands nine with Martin. Axis all good broad or hassive. Mar we Adam Hillary's a nord in year from Clore.
An awful lot of the senior people in Fianna Fáil had been around since the War of Independence period, and they are looking for fresh candidates and for young blood. So there is a sense that they can come looking for him, but also that it'll be easy to get him in because he can come in on Dale's coattails effectively.
I had been asked to go for the Dáil and I had said no. And I don't know how many times I said no. I came home then for the election and I was worried about it, and my mother said, what are you worried about? You mightn't be elected at all.
Ibri dúrach de Fianna Fáil about an tachta óg doctóra de Iarthar an chláir. Fó sé May Finnegan in nídiú chuige chuig, bhíoh clán Macas in Ionacha, John agus Vivian. Lean an rá Pádraig Ó hIrighile sa leis agus sa folitiacht. Ceapamh in a chrónéir chunta in nídiú chuige hocht. Agus ar éirí asifig dá fátrún dev, húb seán de meas a chiad airachta, cuaram na rinne I dachas.
I can't. I said I have contracts. I've babies to deliver. I've promised women I deliver the babies. No, he says you can finish out any work you have. And he just knocked everything. That had the effect that one of the cases I had booked was a young national teacher, her first baby. So the Minister for Education delivered the first baby of a national teacher in Middletown Malbay.
You intend to build a number of new schools, comprehensive schools you call them. Why are they necessary and what will they do?
To me, two problems. The comprehensive school arose because there are areas in the country where, in the normal course of events, post-primary schools will not be built, or if they are, they'll be so small as to be, well, not to provide a wide enough curriculum. So I was naturally led to the decision that we must provide schools in these areas if, as it should be, all our children are to have some post-primary education.
Chushe taija boim education. Ba Asian candas na kinu is tawakti a harle a guest education airing riv. Shin rudder via yavel orinya na guano dini August ascol nis fudja na mar view. Garage gati na man's colony August na Holt's colony.
We should deal of ruddy gur better gur created dini Elliot. The McQueen min shop tobe mar anare dachas aber. Lloyd Manson gur buntigele bonu na skol na chimshika na clashti regunige. Agus ag an vi bar mór madarle dachas a tírsho. Agus an ruddy inche stolem gur kurshe ruddy it's a tro gur forberti a yenev. Agus gur ruddy olive kondal raig. Agus an crohu mór stolem beson. Dierg nig kapag dun a male. Agus fin kinitra gonier dun a male o hef sera dachas to. Ach fin oberdiente ag Pádraig Ó Hillery rimish kun lenun de raig.
In 1965, lean an tírealadh Jack Lynch mar ar a tiúnscail agus tráchtáil. In ultimán táachta go behan raim sin I bhorbert ach na múil na tíre. Ach bhris léir mór ainas tiúnsclaíoch agus stalcan amach an bhliain dar giún. Chun dá leil san, bhanig le meas rain nua réaltais an rain saothar. Bé Pádraig Ó Hillery a rawa chun dúrán na haireachta nua a ragart le díolteacht agus dúthreacht a raim.
How do you see this new ministry as a help to solving the growing problems of labour and industrial relations generally?
I believe all our troubles are due to a slowly evolving social movement which must be understood. Nobody is born to the purple in Ireland. We must establish this soon. And I think we have to. We need the help of a full department with all its resources to help the public to understand that we have workers and management, but that we have not two classes of people, and we must not have two classes of people.
He mightn't have been the greatest communicator in the world. I think there were people, at various stages in his ministerial career who didn't respond or thought he wasn't the greatest communicator. ICTU weren't very happy with him when he was Minister for Labour. So there is that sense that he wasn't perhaps the warmest of people in terms of his dealings. But at the same time, he was regarded very highly in terms of the attention that he gave to detail, in terms of the work he was doing behind the scenes.
Mínas an na 1966, Deireadh Seán le meas as ceannaireacht díana fáil, agus bhí corba I rúnach de dhíar. Or san a raibh dúilechas sa fost bhí cahal ó hocha, ach idir Jack Lynch agus Pádraig Ó Hillery a lai rawa le meas.
I was mentioned, and privately and publicly people said to me, Sean Lemass said to me, you could do it. Sean Lemass was very decisive, and he said to me, you could do it. And I said, no, I wouldn't do it, because I thought Sean Lemass should stay.
Agus tuaisgurt na hÉireann in a bhleim lasrach in 1969, capamh Patrick Hillery in a Aragon ó Uachtaráin. Tar éis dánach na follow, cin rialtas an lainsigh go bhfuil fi géarchéim an túisgirt I lár an éanaig idirnáisiúnta.
Any half-civilized person must have felt sick as could be yesterday when they saw dead bodies lying around the place, innocent people lying on the ground being shot by British troops, just coldly murdered.
I do intend to start right away trying to get on the agenda of the General Assembly the question of the matters in the north of Ireland.
Farty an rialtas saganya. Go conimiche go Muach, go sí an UN. The Chancellor cross no veto waka. Fi sagin nach jocolation UN a gahienu ta guru nasasni and Eden lesson veto cha.
The Irish people are suddenly confronted with a brutal clarification of the British policies in our country. They have, as you know, had internment without trial and torture in their internment camps. And now we're faced with the death sentence for people who protest. Either it's a loosening of totally undisciplined troops or a cold decision taken in London to kill people. Whichever it is, the situation is totally changed. For my government, we find ourselves with a neighbour practicing the arts of war on our people, and we have to find a solution for it.
Sínam gur gurdi a vínu the phobal an dón. Checho fiúntach is fed sé gomach chin on egan eintú an sa tír seo. Gus gom a vihid gomach sé sin an. Gynnig fi rudi a harle fadó, gynnig fi hon jaramwaji, agus gydaso fi hale nua chahu a gudjach agus a barge ni chyrle.
How do you view the situation now between relations between the British and the Irish after what happened in Londonderry over the weekend?
They were never worse. The relations between our governments were never worse. This is the first time we've recalled an ambassador from anywhere. The relationship between the Irish people and the British were never as bad. The feelings were never as hostile, and we regard what has been done as an act of war against an innocent population. But I'll put it to you this way, that if the British government are not visited by sanity, either through their own intelligence or through the efforts of other countries, our dedication will be to get the British troops out of Ireland.
Dr. Hillery arguing and discussing and speaking at the United Nations was putting across this message that the governments of the day, whichever colour of government was, did not support the IRA and all the works and pomps, and that there was a different type of republicanism, and that he, Dr. Hillery, and his comrades and colleagues espoused that republicanism, and the type of republicanism being practiced by the IRA was anathema.
Ba Jonachar Moore a rialtas an lainsigh Patrick Hillery. Has sé le na híiseach, sí géarchéim na naram, a corga tréan in aig ete invanach na boblachtach tradiisiúnta.
To run this trial not merely as a prosecution, but as the council said inside, as a persecution. But I think they've got their answer today, and I hope they realise it and take the appropriate action after it. What action is that? That is to make way for those who believe in a Republican Party running this country, and not the sort that we're developing at the moment.
Paddy Hillery had portrayed himself and had acted decisively, again parallel to Erskine Childers, in taking on the Kevin Bolans, the Haughys, the Blaneys, the Podge Brennans, all the people in Fianna Fáil who had put the national flag around themselves and had flaunted it as the true Republicans.
Má bhí bealach sato voce cainte agus ibre a hantal le Pádraig Ó hIrighile fiú agus policy an lainsigh in lehan tuaisgurt a chasantige. Ag ard é sin a fáil in idiog seachta hen, cheannig an aig fidil sin, agus bacachas de chach an cruas leistír den velvet.
I ask the Fianna Fáil Ardèche, I ask the Fianna Fáil Ardèche to rid itself of this rotten apple. And the way to do it is to elect our leader. And our leader could be changed, but he won't be changed by shouting at him or calling him names. It takes more than that to frighten.
All this year has not been an easy one. Since last May, we have had to struggle.
Le líon géir céim na náram in idiog seachta hen, thugan lainseach bata agus bóthir de chachala hocha agus Neil Blaney. Has Kevin Boland lo, dairig sé asifig bhaun principle. Nuair a lean Boland a labhairt amach an éideann an lainsigh, cágamachchas Fianna Fáil é. Ní le ceann fé a dimóg sé áfach. Ag ard é Fianna Fáil in idiog seachta hen, thug Boland dúlán an forty. Ortha san an ardán, Patrick Hillery a bhain a raigar dúlán I bhionáin le bríthar a troda.
I tell you something, if she ever succeeded in getting rid of one of us, there'll be more of us, and we'll keep coming. We'll keep coming as long as you're there. And Fianna Fáil will survive as it did before. You can have Boland, but you can't have Fianna Fáil.
As Queenlam, as Queenla Cuidvadini, Ardèche, Cháiliúil a bhí ag Fianna Fáil nuair a bhí Raceann idir Cuimhin ó Beoláin agus an Cuidead an Party agus Pádraig Ó hIrighile a rá, you can have Kevin Boland, but you can't have Fianna Fáil. Mar sin de bhí sais animar sa sail politúil, mar chunne nafsblach, mar chunne go raibh cuidmhá machnamh déanta aige bhrí na polítíochta, agus go raibh tuiscint aige na deacrachtaí a bhí around sa sail politúil.
Not in any back room.
Cred Hillery go raibh Boland is a bhuian gofas an aimseir chaite, ach go mo bhuine fad bhreachanach é féin, a chred níos mós a tauchaí a raibh cinúint orpach rimpi. Mar arag an óthaí achtracha, sin is dúrig idir bheartaíochta achtas éantacha séirn don EEC. Gúlinn má gúlinn le Jack Lynch, cuireann turéalach lábh le conra éantacha séirn in idiog seachta trí. Bhronn an lainseach an sméar mollig an sinéir, bé an clárínach céad enim núchan riils éirn de chomisisiún na hórpa.
Brenn sé ab a mhór ó híomh leasa socially. Ní amháin in éireann céadúlaí an seo ach chu generálta san EC.
The social policy had been agreed, I think, but he was put in charge of it, and he ran it very successfully, and from our point of view, very successfully. At one point, with 1% of the population of the EU, we were getting up to 13% of the money from the social fund. And that wasn't done by fiddling things, but he worked out a policy that stood up and that other people accepted, from which we happened to benefit substantially.
It's foolish kind of Salátaniu, a can úrú da bar vi mór nodi le forberti le di arahar le dianav. Agus anna bina viana kind of mono agus nar vi kart na altico agus rich shedder am higim anna wachin konna salda na mono kofa agus gemek tactico post
He was somebody who was going to stand up to the government at the time because the Irish coalition was trying to dodge the issue of equal pay, and he of course Hillary sided with his commissioners, which he was quite right to do. And there is that sense. Richie Ryan comes out with this line at some stage, the Fine Gael Minister for Finance, the Fianna Fáil Commissioner. Whereas he wasn't. I mean, he was somebody who had to operate as part of the Commission, not as part of any political party. But I'm sure party politics played a part in ensuring that he was recalled, that a Fine Gael replacement was going to be sent out. And that raised the very interesting question of what was Hillary going to do next. He was only in his early 50s.
In 1976, gan Múrán Cuine Geilis, bhí Pádraig Ó hIrighile as obair don chéadúir ina 5 mbliana fihid sa pholaíocht. Níor léirdó an ród rive, agus is bhuiine bhar chuna Hafraice lena bhean, chun leighis I cleachta le chéile, tháinig conspóid pholaitiúil in hÉireann a níor a dúig an blansin.
An seasta tú a rís le hain Uachtaráin. Níor hasas mar as ódait den Uachtaránacht.
Nuair a dheirigh Carol O'Donnelly as an bust, measam gur higan rialtas gur a deacrach le có. Sais míú a thuirt a bhaintre na tír a céad fág ar gáil le Uachtaráin nua a cheapa. Agus tar éis dóibh a botúna dhéanamh a gás Carol O'Donnelly, agus measam gur botúna dhéanamh. Bhíidir na géirí táchan a hachant, agus de chúisiid a cuardach duine nach meach aragóin de bhór faoi, nach meach fán ar an bhrasúra churann a chuine.
Bhí líma coscar ag smaoinemh dó héin, céhé an téas dán séirí, don córialtas amachchansa. Nuair líag dóin an héad táchan eile a bhuachant, a roií Jack Lynch as, tá deacrachtaí taobhistí de Fianna Fáil, céhé an té a déiteach Fianna Fáil a éon tú, Pádraig Ó hIrighile. Nach bhfuil sé bhfad níos fearr go mbeidh sé in Uachtaráin, ná go mbeidh sé ina ceannar ar Fianna Fáil, agus ag chur díreach ag gcoinne mise mar físeach.
Here was somebody who had held a successive Irish ministries, somebody who had served as an EU commissioner, and now he is being brought back to be the fairy on top of the Irish political Christmas tree. That's how one cynic described it. So there is that sense that, you know, he's not even moving sideways, he's moving backwards. Now, of course, that could be seen as overly cynical as well, but I do think he's somebody who was a very, very reluctant president.
Presidential elections don't suit politicians. They cost a lot of money if you're going to have an election, a contest, for a position which doesn't have that much significance for the overall political scene. So having already had losing two presidents, one by death, one by resignation, to have an election then would not, I think, have been thought to be beneficial either to the government or to the country. And Patrick Hillery was widely respected by all parties. He was known to be a person who was not strongly partisan. He would fulfill the neutral role of president very effectively.
Stolm gur brashe gan am gur raibh sé déanamh mahastan stáit agus gur dúlgus lehelig gur heasta go seirbhís mar herbhíiseacht an stáit agus bhí son díon go maith ar slí.
I find that Patrick J. Hillery is validly nominated as a candidate, and as no other candidate has been so nominated. I hereby declare Patrick J. Hillery elected to the office of President of Ireland.
Vi med I med irehor kunna hasban kun liggen den fobel ra gwilder saler kist en Uachtaráin ak nireven dinge I gwynnefshin nireven irehor elle I gwynnefshin agus marshin kapen gwil an rod guler saler nish vi is me chakta dale le kirche kuig ultauchan agus is rod múre greif tauchan agus greifan nertige ag dinnig dolis chakta dal ac ni fedrl ni rohor kurme gwine ni tam awn ni rebene me kynne agus marshin time awn agus time tan dulgishi kene orum agus tasulagum gemegan phone of asli on a dine chakt.
An riúlán nolog níliúg 76, insealiúg Pádraig Ó hIrighile inifig na Uachtaránachta an séo Uachtaráin hÉireann.
Támsa Pádraig Ó hIrighile.
Táimse Pádraig Ó hIrighile.
Tá gealúint agus tá gearmha.
Tá gealúint agus tá dhearbhú.
Gus Salamonta is go Firenach.
Gus Salamonta is go Firenach.
Vem haka agus im Gidin de Vanrak HÉireann.
Vem haka is im Gidin de Vanrak HÉireann.
Agus liha de Céimhna.
Agus liha de Céimhna.
Mo Gulgish de Colina.
Mo Gulgish de Colino.
Go Dílis Conchiisach.
Go Dílis Conchiisach.
De hÉireann Vanrakta is an Glig.
De hÉireann Vanrakta is an Glig.
Agus Malán Yihil a Dhéanamh.
Agus Malán Yihil a Dhéanamh.
Son Lassa is Fónamh Muintir na hÉireann.
Son Lassa is Fónamh Muintir na hÉireann.
Dia dom Stúra agus dom Cúdach.
Dia dom Stúra agus dom Cúdach.
Nuair a tháinig Paddy Hillery Stair Ifig, bhí an tír sais tain, bhí sais cogad carraga cultúr agus polítíocht ar siúl. Cé nach raibh gunnaí ann. Bhí sais mion an Civil War ann. Bhí daoine anna nimhnach lena chéile. Fianna Fáil, istigh I Fianna Fáil, idir gá éite de Fianna Fáil, istigh I Fianna Gael. Agus the tháinig Paddy Hillery Stair agus bhí sé tháinig Stair I ról an doctor, bócachtóir agus bhí sé mar doctor don náisiún.
Cortés gan Uachtaráin, Pádraig Ó.
Déadthá rá go raibh ciúnas éigentí dhí tar éis an chlamper ar fad, tar éis na conspóide. Agus chuile hans go raibh an ceart ag Pádraig Ó hIrighile bheith I dos achbáire. Ach ní bháin go raibh sé ciúin bhí sé sibhialta. Is dócha ar bhealach nach bhfuil an taithantas ceart feite aige mar jouler sin. Nach nearna sé clamper.
Fara bríomh dín dhéana chuid ebre go ciún, níor heistú go héananig riomh a bhrúch an tosaí. Is bin éon an stí go Raphael aber éon áit chunach riomh ní raibh sé a go bamach aber gan sé an deirg aber agus táimeach cuair milliún dhéanach sé go maithe.
Paddy Hillery was interviewed in 1976, shortly after he had become president, and he said in the interview, "I'm going into a vacuum that's hard to explain," which in some ways is a perfect definition of how the presidency was seen in the 1970s.
Your liberty is gone, and there are gates to get shut, gates to lock people out, lock people in, lock us in. I do tend to like personal liberty, and I didn't like that. The grounds, I think there's 180 acres or something around the house, and there's a path around which I measured is 2 miles, and I used it for jogging and cycling and finally for walking over the years. I remember walking past the gap one day, just after going in, striding away, and a man out in the park said, "7 years of this."
Má bhí leisce ar seasamh, chuir an tírealach conibbre le teann díograis agus le flosc. Níor lai an fúdar sin le íomhá feidblí I hIrighile, íomhá atá fós ratha.
Is craim lumsa go maith Brendan a hair a rá lumsa gnóm nuair a bhí mar a gún an clár. He says, well, Paddy's over there playing golf and all's right with the world. An sais sin slí, go raibh sé nán dul amach ag immert golf. Cé go raibh an factas na prófos frí lá an seol, cé go raibh daoine go raibh na loyalists ag lách catilicic, cé go raibh gach drochar le tarlú hí Paddy a golflings hís a gún an clár ag immert golf.
Go fiús má bí daoine rá go raibh sé níos mór a chumpór de gum an golf ná mar a bhí sé mar a deartha san Uachtaránacht. Sílim nach ran sonnach ceach uiringe cinál shorthand lena rá gur duine é a bhí ar a chumpór I meas daoine, gur duine é a bhí an an bhear a chochracht. Ní dólim gur cáine ar a ghúil sa golf a bhí geistin seo, ach gur cinál leide é nó cód buia hé, gur gná chuine é, a glach le gná pléisiúid agus mar sin de.
One of the great golfers here, single-digit handicap, the president.
Pussy session, sais prósés nó mó marachtóla a bhí ag an Uachtaráin, bheith go bháil timp le teangmháil le muintir na tíre. Dhéann sé anna chuide sin ach tá bé an botúna dhéann sé más botúna nár dhéann sé scéal mórda in san man conversáide. Dhéann sé go ciúna ach tá anna chuid lína ar fut na tíre a chur aithne ar Uachtaráin na hÉireann don chéadúir nuair le bhí Pádraig Ó san Ifig.
In idiog seachton na agus an papa tí tacht go hÉireann, áit de réir protocol ina erthach an Uachtaráin mar ceann stáit fáilte ifigúil ridda. Bhris cogur amach faoi scanal san áras. Bhí idir saol príomhaideach agus pósa an Uachtaráin I méal an phobail, nó de scapog ráflí ina déir.
Who would have thought that Patrick Hillery would be at the centre of these lurid allegations? And the allegations were extraordinary and quite farcical in some respects, and they were also self-contradictory, a lot of them. Some of the rumours included that there was a Spanish girlfriend, that there was a Spanish boyfriend, that there was sexual shenanigans off a boat off the Isle of Man, that there was a baby born clandestinely in Brussels, that there was a baby about to be born brazenly in Dublin. There were an extraordinary number of stories.
Vi scéalta is ráflaí eite go bháil timpeall faoin bhar. Measam gur chuideach an nó person a héanatá an sin, agus tún ra bhéon bhaint ag éon cheod in na scéalta sin leis an Uachtaránacht. Agus measam gur égóir idirlachar an bhar héin agus ar an Ifig na scéalta sin a chur timpeall.
The rumours surrounding Patrick Hillery's marriage are utterly bizarre, and to this day no one knows who was responsible for starting them. One rumour is that it was linked to the Fianna Fáil leadership at the time. Jack Lynch had been leader since 1966. His retirement was expected any time, but those who were anti-Jack Lynch wanted to see could they bring Jack Lynch down at a time not of his choosing, and in a way that would actually undermine the chances of Lynch supporters taking over the leadership. The claim was that it was Fianna Fáil dissidents who spread the rumour around about Patrick Hillery. They thought that if they could force Patrick Hillery out of the presidency, they'd create a vacancy that Lynch would have to take. Is it true? Nobody knows. It certainly is believed by a lot of people that it was linked to the attempts by Haughey to take over the leadership.
In one sense, he fanned the flames of the rumours and the controversy. Arguably, it wasn't even a controversy at that stage. These rumours were out there, and he decided to call in the editors of the main daily newspapers, and also RT's Sean Dignan, and they had a discussion about what was the best way to approach this, and he wanted to issue a blanket denial of all those rumours, whereas they had suggested that that was going to just fan the flames of those rumours. So he decided instead to say that there has been no involvement with any other woman. So Sean Dignan hot-footed it back to RT and announced to the nation at 9 o'clock on the news that the President has just told me that there's no other woman. And of course an awful lot of people who were looking at it went, what other woman, what story, what rumours? So, you know, in a sense he was revealing that there was nothing to reveal.
A lot of it was laughable, except at that time I discovered it was a structured rumour. It was being put out by somebody spending quite a bit of time and money and a number of people on it.
Who do you believe was putting that rumour out?
Did you ask me what I say on this programme? Who do I believe? I know who put it out, all right, but people know who it is. The media know who it was.
Cuireadh na ráflaí sin consúin gan an umarca damáiste bheith dianta di ifig na Uachtaránachta, ach bhí dúlán substaintú ils na clítháin ridge. In 1982, chail cóiríaltas Garrett Fitzgerald rún míbhuiníne an muisiad, agus goig an tíise go dtí an taras le ire an Uachtarán an dáil a scar. Sa le rinne an Uachtarán cinenne sin, amach san ihe cuireadh sráid de glíonaí telefóin Pádraig Ó hIrighile. Cóiríaltas Garrett Fitzgerald rún míbhuiníne dála an muisiad. Dír mac Garrett an Uachtarán an dáil a scar, bart a bhrostóch oltáchán. Fan munracht, tá an Uachtarán an cinenne sin a ghlacha as a chóirle féin. Ní ceann bhfuil daine choristeach a bhreithnúcháin. Dániúil tóg sé le achaníon díise, bheadh sé de ghúlgas an sin an bhreasúir rialtas a chur le chéile. Bé Fianna Fáil an Frasúra, agus gliadar Pádraig Ó hIrighile.
Fitzgerald told the Dáil he was going to the park to seek a dissolution. So while all that was done, he called a meeting of the front bench. At that meeting, he decided that people should contact the president to let them know that Fianna Fáil wanted a chance to form a government. And therefore, if Fitzgerald had his dissolution turned down, they were available to form a government. There was a press release issued about that. There also were phone calls made. Who made phone calls, what the phone calls were, remains a mystery. Numerous sources for over 15 years after the actual dissolution itself claimed that 3 people made phone calls. They were Charles Haughey, Stevie Barrett and Brian Lenihan.
Paddy Hillery was faced with a situation where he got these phone calls, 8 altogether, I was told when I arrived in Uachtaráin, from 3 different members of the opposition, asking to refuse a dissolution in a situation where there was no clear alternative. And he, in those sections, decided not to take these calls, and he was very annoyed at the persistence. One call from the leader of the opposition himself, perhaps, might have made some sense, but all the people ringing up about it seemed like an attempt to force his hand and force him to act politically when he had always acted in a non-political way as president. And that certainly irritated him. So the result was that when I went in to see him, my interview was longer than I expected because he was so annoyed about what was happening. I couldn't get away, which meant that people, of course, began to think maybe I had been refused dissolution. Because his an extreme annoyance with his former colleagues.
Bhíonn ceartaige ar fad dúiltú don na híreachtaí a dénach mar nar lí sé le dúilga sí bunreachtúla an Uachtaráin barta dhéanamh fé mar iarachar. Bhí daoine eile a dulling pean as sin agus Brian Ó Linacháin san áireamh agus measam gur dhéann sesin botún sais géile don a rudaí a dúrach leis agus na ceisina a chuirich nó an sais gríosa a fuair sé chun rudaí áirithe a dhéanamh measam gur dhéann sé é sin á stílseacht á fortaí ach bhí dul le múir a le héad sin de rudaí dhéanamh. Ach dhéana an Uachtaráin ag an nám cinenne críanna a bhí an ceart ar fadaige an dearcha ghlachas a ghlach sé.
Yes, so hIrighile Dorma Vorwell, Céad Fáin Géad, Taobh Thiar den Bhunreacht. Dhéann sé an rud ceart nuair a dhéanú iireacht ag daoine áirithe chur úsáid, agus úsáid a bhaint as intig an Uachtaráin, chun polisithe nach raibh de réir na Bhunreachta a thar chun cinn. Ceapim go nearna ó hIrighile anseirbhís do bhainte na hÉireann agus de stát na hÉireann ag an am son.
Níl an scéal son Abrahamach céad féin géad fós ach pe scéal é. Tá sé soléir go raibh sé anna chúramach ag cosint ról na Uachtaránachta go raibh sé anna chúramach ag clí leis na rialacha agus na dúilgas. Agus go raibh sé anna scrúpalach ach go háirithe nar léirigh sé fábhar déan dram fé le. Fábhar nach meach ceart na cóir don bost a bhíige.
Bhí sais rud a bhaine beagnach chur a gcuine dom éimean de bhfuil ar a héin sa slí nar just níor thug sé an freigar ar a bhón. Agus an ciúnas, de bhínig an ciúnas an dearcha bhíige, níor a bhéon gáda éon ó ráid a thuirt nó ráid sa churamach, de bhí a gaiine cad a bheas Paddy Hillery faoi. Agus dúsáid sé an ciúnas mar sais mar úr Laura.
I felt part of the protection of the presidency is not to get into political controversy and to do your business properly. Now, I did my business properly. And the controversy is such that even if I were pulled into it now, I would, I think, be damaging the presidency that I spent so many years stabilizing. So for me, it's a closed book.
In 1883, IT o ger siasaf a ríis don áras. A ríis, ba lasc leis siasaf. Don dara uair dó, géil agus has. A ríis gan frasúra. Fógraíomh tufa fan munracht, an té an Uachtaráin a chuir gáthel ifige isteach, nar cahag irid agus vóta a bháin a hon.
Bhí ráig a hIrighile nóig ó híh for máltaide, ach díreach mar go raibh sé tar éis bliain roimh sin ná mar sin, go raibh sé tar éis seasamh i gcuine. I gcuine an sort déaláil a cheap sesin agus a cheap sesin I gceart ceapim se a rá chun túirteach an bhunreacht. Ní dóla mó híh chun síise dé nó híh dúlgaise dé go raibh an dara ráige.
Presidents do have choice about a second term, but he was put under a lot of pressure. We were pressing him to take it, and then Mr. High also pressed him to take it, I think. So, with both sides at him, he had no choice in the matter, but he wasn't very keen on it, I think. 7 years in that job can be enough for some people.
Bhí sé ní strucra fósaige ghlacha leis an tarna bauta. Bhí sé sin an andachar agus go macánta cacha mé rá im thuairimseir gur dhéanamar éagóir chur na líar agus an post sin a ghlacha ag an am. Ach de bhí an réasúntaíocht céine ag an rialtas sin agus a bhí ag an rialtas ribhe sin. Bhí sé sa léir go mbeadh sé andachar chur na chuine. Ní rá iarthóir go macánta ní rá iarthóir ag an rialtas sin. Ní aimsíomar aine eile a bheith sásta ghlacha leis an bost agus réiteach anna chóúil a bhí an don rialtas sin gur ghlach Pádraig Ó hIrighile leis an bost ach ag an am chéanna measam gur dhéanamar éagóir an bhar hain.
He accepted it as a matter of continuing duty to the state and to the body politic that he should stay on for another 7 years. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he put up with it. But he did it. And it's to his credit that he did it, but it was a trial in my view. It was not a trauma, but a trial, because the duties are onerous, the duties are ongoing, the duties are never-ending, but you are, so to speak, stuck in a job that, once again, people have said you've got to do it. It's rather like being elected Queen of England. The only way you can get out of it is by dropping dead.
Sin an rud mhór a bhain le Paddy Hillery ná, bhí an dignitas sin aige, less was more. De hiig sé rudí go dtí an eistóirí an bhá, conas is féidir an ciúnas dósáid go má leis an labhairt.
Ní raibh Uachtaráin hÉireann a bhí níbe phríomh-ID ná Pádraig Ó hIrighile. Bhí a heist sin sa tragóid a bhfuil teaghlach hIrighile in 1885, scéal nar cuireadh thuailh an phobal riamh.
She was 15 at the diagnosis. The news was bad immediately. It was it was something for which there was treatment, but a very severe illness, and she went through the treatment. I at the time...
It was a form of cancer she had?
It was a kind of blood cancer. The child that's sick is the strength, is more than the parents.
Being the daughter of the president wasn't the easiest thing in the world, I think. It's a little bit of a burden, and although she never said so, but I gathered occasionally, people, well, how people are, I suppose, and children ribbing one another, that kind of thing, but she kept it all up very well, so I think it was essential for her sake, really, more than our own, to just keep it as private as possible, really.
But it went on a long time. There was very intensive treatment and then periods of rest, and the treatment went very well, and then suddenly it all went wrong. She died just a couple of weeks short of 18. You can't imagine what you go through, and you can't imagine the depths of your own resources. But you couldn't imagine living through that. But it happens.
In Idiog Nóca, agus seach níana le cosisiún trí scóraige, tháinig deireadh le dara hÉireann Pádraig hIrighile. D'fhág sé an táras agus an saol peibhlí ina dhéag. Fiú má luamh scanal ina heall Uachtaránachta, tá sé de cáil gur a bé a phréamhaigh socracht na hifige arís.
Ceapim gur Uachtaránachta anna táchtach a bhíon Uachtaránachta ó hIrighile. Anna táchtach de bhórna rudaí nóir hála a bhéteach a hála man a raibh seisin ina Uachtarán. Tá sé deacair ar nóig brethúnas cruinne thuúirtar sin ach na rudaí nach darlíonn a bhéteach a hála is rudaí táchtach í sin Hamas a Stair.
I suppose Hillary's presidency was important in terms of stability after what had happened in the 1970s. At the same time, it also became associated with dullness, the Irish presidency. That wasn't necessarily Paddy Hillary's fault, though arguably he could have been somewhat more engaging president. It was the fault of the Constitution that allowed for 2 7-year terms. Arguably it should have only been 1 7-year term, because what happens over the course of 14 years is that the office is seen to be quite irrelevant, or the office is seen to be quite dull. Now, that wasn't Hillary's fault, it was probably more the fault of the Constitution.
Ke go meachtaí beidir rá go raibh an Uachtaránach ag Hillary beganin ráda gneacha sé beidir chun ladráinnig tactic an deire. Agus nach raibh sé splóidirach go leor, nó soscéalach go leor, ag ardú ceistena. Fós féin cinál reassurance a bhí gceist le Uachtaránach díile. Reassurance go raibh an chóras stáit ag feimú, nar gágam a cuiscar idir branchid den bhanracht. Go bhéteach politeoir a bhí gníomhach agus trodach ina ré féin, socrúisteach san áras, agus bheith plé le politeoirí de gach acme, agus bheith a plé leo go corram córéiseach. Ní beag an teisté sin Hillary, agus ní beagach an iridé an chomaoin a chuirse an stát, ag tréis annach chorathe agus anna chinúnach gur chuirse an Uachtaránach de ráis mar a deatha a bunamh go seasta i ríist don té hannig in a dhéag.